Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple of my red zone defenses that I like to run when I switch over to the 3-4 defense, which isn't very often. Anyhow, I'm coming out on the Houston Texans defensive playbook. We're going to come out of the formation 3-4 even. The first play I'll show you is the strong outside linebacker 2. Now, what I don't like about this, it isn't that consistent. It depends on who you're playing with, who your opponent has, as far as to whether or not you get all the gap penetration that we're looking for. And also, your opponent has to be across the 50, which is good, considering our deep coverage isn't very good in this formation or in this coverage. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get started. Strike outside linebacker 2. I'm going to show you how to get right A gap and left C gap heat. I believe I have a running back blocking here. Let's see if we can still get left C gap and right A gap heat. To set it up, all you need to do is man align, show blitz. You want to blitz your number 2 middle linebacker right here, Farrell. You want to, and once you pick him, you can just cycle through. It goes right down, which makes it nice and easy for you to set up. And re-blitz your defensive tackle. You want to contain your left defensive end, and then you can either zone him or you can man him up on a slot depending on how far away you are from the end zone. Here I'm kind of far away. Honestly, I wouldn't run this setup right here. Being that far away, maybe inside the 20 I would. So anyhow, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and put him in the zone. I'll put Chancellor in the hook, and I'll just user him. The right mid to right field is my responsibility and not to get beat deep. So basically, when the ball is snapped, I'm just going to retreat up and over to the right, make sure I don't get beat over top. Um, so with that said, let's see if we can get a left C gap and right A gap. One of them may get picked up, but a lot of times what you'll see happen is the running back gets confused on which one to block. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, that time we were able to get the A gap, even though the running back was blocking. So let's go ahead and take a look at the instant replay. Um, Sorry, I had to show you this in actual game footage versus myself. Couldn't get it to work in practice mode, which I hate due to the alignment of the defensive line. I still couldn't get it to work with moving a couple players here and there. So just to go ahead and get the vid out, man, I just came out and showed you this way. So anyhow, let's take a look at this and see what happened. Okay, obviously C gap heat over there on the left hand side, but what you don't expect is for me to get A gap. Excuse me, that's actually not A gap, that's B gap because the right guard shifted over to the left. Okay, so the running back pretty much has to pick his poison. Which side does he block? It doesn't really matter. I didn't aggressive block my line or slide protect or anything, so let's go ahead and set that up again. Okay, I just showed you the B gap heat that we got by blocking the running back and not doing anything in my line. This time I'm still going to block the running back, and I'm going to do aggressive block my line, and that should pick up any A gap heat, right? So let's see what we can get. Set it up. All you need to do is man a line, show blitz. You need to blitz your number 2 middle linebacker, re-blitz your defensive tackle, contain your left defensive end, and you can man up your left outside linebacker, put him in the zone, your preference. Again, I wouldn't run this far away from the end zone. I'm just setting this up to get the vid out, and I would probably put him in a buzz, and then I would actually, if I was close to the red zone and running, I would put my free safety who's in the deep blue right now. I would actually put him in the hook zone, and I would user him once the ball snapped. I would immediately hop down and try to catch anything quick. But just to show you how this works. So again, I aggressive block my line. The running back is blocking. Let's see if we can still generate some heat. Okay, that time he did a pretty good job picking us up. But if you got a good pass rush over there, which Hill isn't the best, he was able to shed block that over there and still get in. Okay, I showed you pressure that we get with the running back blocking and slide protecting your defensive line. We were still able to get in and get to the quarterback. Now this time they're sending everyone out. Let's say they're not expecting any heat because we haven't been bringing any. Pretty much max coverage. So set it up one more time. You need to man a line. So blitz. Blitz your number 2 middle linebacker. Re-blitz your defensive tackle. Contain your left defensive end. And whatever you like to do, whether zone or man, with your left outside linebacker. And you for whatever reason, and another thing I hate about this, you have to use your strong safety right here, Chancellor, for it to be consistent. I have gotten into work using other players, but as far as consistency, it works best when I use your Chancellor. So now I'm not blocking anyone. Let's see if we can get left C gap and right B gap heat. Okay, that time looks like the guard he was able to kick over and pick that up. Let me show you a replay real quick because a lot of times what will happen is the center and guard will actually turn and face each other and hug each other. See how they kind of face each other? A lot of times what will happen is, and actually have Irvin at defensive tackle, so he got in so quick. If I had someone slower there and they reacted a little slower, they would probably face each other and it basically would slow each other down. And then what would happen is that right guard, he wouldn't be able to get over there on my C gap heat. And so that would allow me to have C and B gap heat at the quarterback. But because they didn't get in each other way and slow each other down, the guard was able to swing over and pick up one. So okay, now I'm going to show you the man version of the strike outside linebacker 2. Keep in mind this is a red zone defense. I don't like to run cover 0. I may run it once, if that, game, for the simple fact that you can get beat deep easy. But I may mix it in, like I said, once if I have a scheme to go with it with the same look. So anyhow, just to complement our strike outside linebacker 2, let's go ahead and call the pinch out of 3-4 even. Set this up, even though I'm not in the red zone. Just go ahead and show you. Set it up. We need man align, show blitz. You need to blitz your number 2 middle linebacker. You need to re-blitz your defensive tackle. You need to contain your left defensive end. And your preference, you can buzz, hook, deep blue, any type of zoner. You can man up your left outside linebacker. In this case, it's Miller. So let's see if we can get the A gap or left C gap heat. So that time we're able to get the C gap heat. And actually, I forgot this is field sensitive, meaning we have to be on the opposite side of 50 in order for this to work. If we're on this side of 50, as you just seen, you'll get left C gap heat. So let's go ahead and punt the ball and see if we can show you on the other side of 50 and get the A gap heat. Okay, so like I said, this blitz is field sensitive, whether it's the strike outside linebacker 2 or the pinch out of the 3-4 even. I'm sorry about all the downtime and starting back over, but I could not get these blitzes to work in practice mode, so I had to run an actual game. So let's go ahead and see if we can get the A gap heat now that we're on the right side of 50. Like I said before, if you're on the other side of 50, then you'll get the C gap heat. If you're on this side of 50, you'll get the A. Well, I'm sorry, it's actually the right B gap and left C gap heat. So to set it up, all we need to do is man align, show blitz. Okay, you need to re-blitz your middle linebacker, number 2 middle linebacker. This guy right here, line up over the left tackle. Re-blitz your defensive tackle, contain your left defensive end, and your preference, you can zone or man up your left outside linebacker. And then I like to use this guy in case they run an out or a streak. I'm gonna help him get back to wherever he needs to be. Okay, that time they picked up our A gap, but we were able to get a left C gap. And I actually forced myself to the other side of 50. I'm not going to worry about it. Basically, this is the same setup as the strike outside linebacker 2. Again, this play I don't like it for the most part because it's field sensitive. Meaning I have to run on the other side of 50. But, if you run a 3-4, you need a different look every now and then. Then this is something you can mix in. Hope you enjoyed. Again, show us some love, like, subscribe, and like I said before, we're going to keep them coming.